Wow, wow, look at this room. I got an envelope full of goodies here. I had to walk in with the envelope.
Welcome, everyone. How exciting, guys. Welcome to February 8th, the History in the Making Day. We are so excited to be here. I was just like waiting. I said, I cannot wait to get into that room. Of course, where they put us, we came around the maze. I don't know, we went through every little aisle of way we could get to get to this room. But is everyone excited? And I was going to try to learn to say that in Espanol. So, Memo, translate for me. How do you say that? Or Prissy, how do you say that in Spanish? How do you say that in Spanish? Are you excited? Wow, well, welcome everyone to a very... Oh, that's how you say it. Okay, got it now. Wow, well, welcome to a History in the Making Day. Years in the making. Welcome to the grand opening. You know, everything starts today. I have been waiting for this day. You know, the day, really the commencement, you know, all that we've done up until this point with the sister division and then the pre-launch of the new division with 10, getting it all up to this point. So welcome everyone, and you know, yes, please, thank you for sitting down here. We're going to get this day started. Got a lot of exciting stuff here, and I want to go ahead and turn it over to Mel to just kind of share some lot of stuff. Oh, okay, well, they're going to cue him. They're going to cue him up first. All right, I'm never at a loss for words. Okay, now I'm getting nervous. Ooh, it's warm in here, isn't it? Yeah. Woo! Is that the heat from all the excitement from 10? All right, just a quick question for everyone. I've been wanting to say this. On a scale of 1 to 10, what number is everyone? 10! I love that. Well, you know, we have such an exciting day planned. I know we've already gotten the day started. We've got just hearing Kevin Vaughn. You know, Kevin Vaughn, thank you for your excitement and energy throughout the country. He has been an incredible part of this company. But when he's at an event, I'd like to say to Kevin, if you're not at an event, that excitement, that smile, that energy. Which, by the way, Kevin, those of you, he might have been introduced, but just so you know, 1-star Kevin Vaughn. So anyways, a lot of exciting stuff. I'm glad we got notepads, both from the hotel as well as everybody got them, and they welcome the goodie bags. Everyone got their goodie bags? Yeah. So very important thing in there, besides the t-shirt, the little commemorative t-shirt, which our son, by the way, helped design. It was exciting. And I won't take all credit, he just did one part of it. We also had a lot of the team, you know, Memo and the team and several of the graphic designers put that together. But it was our son that, he's now 12 years old. I can't believe he's 12 years old. I want to say 10 years old, but he's 12. It's kind of funny because when we were getting ready to plan the pre-launch for 10, the company was ready to start its 10th year, and he had just turned 10, so we're like trying to plan this, so we're like, perfect, okay, 10. So we obviously started the pre-launch of 10 within as the company started their 10th year. But anyway, so he just turned 12, and he was part of that. But my point is, notepads, pen and paper that are in there. Get ready to take some notes. Get ready truly for a History in the Making Day. What you're going to take from today, the information, the excitement, and everything else will and can change your life, if you let it, though. Yeah. So be ready, everyone here, for just an incredible day. A lot of excitement and a lot of secrets, too. So wow, the stage looks exciting. And now with that, can I turn it over to you, babe?
Yes, absolutely.
Welcome, everyone, to our singer.
One more hand for Ami Gill. That's the best way, is when your wife gives you the introduction. So she'll say, just meet my friend, CEO Mel Gill. Everybody hear me okay, loud and clear? Yeah. Maybe too loud? Yeah. A little bit? There we go. I'll lower it a little bit. Okay. Should be good. Wow, look at everybody. All the familiar faces and a lot of new faces. Turn it down just a little bit there. Thank you so much. And just looking at the room and the decorations and everything, did you guys see those really cool banners out there when I walked in? I saw them. Let's give Mr. Manuel a hand here for doing that incredible artwork. Beautiful. Well, as Amy said, today is a spectacular day. It's a history-making day. And I have the unique opportunity to share many things with you, but really, at the same time, kind of look at this room and remember how we started with a room just like this, exactly like this, in each of the different countries that we've entered. And in many of those countries, it can no longer stay like this. It's grown from this point to a very, very large, significant events that just show how many lives have changed from the events and everything else. But what I can tell you is that I think the best thing you're going to get from me is not the corporate guy, CEO guy, Mel Gill. The best thing you're going to get from me is the distributor, Mel Gill, who along with his wife, has been a distributor now for 24 years full-time. Okay, and so as I share things with you, and how many people have actually heard our story or heard me speak before? Or actually, should I do this? How many people have never heard our story or never heard me speak before? Okay, there's a lot of people there. Well, and I know that we have a professional translator here. Memo, who's the professional translator? Okay. What's your name?
Najeri.
Jenny?
Najeri.
Najeri.
Nelly is fine.
Nelly is fine, okay. Well, Nelly,
Here, I can go if I get a microphone, I can go from here.
Okay, can we give her a microphone real quick?
It's right there on the desk.
Oh, there you go. Give Nelly a hand for helping us out. There you go. Here's what we're going to do, and maybe you can translate this part for me, Nelly.
Esto es lo que vamos a hacer ahora, de aquí en adelante.
Is because I have to keep my mind flowing so that I can give you my heart.
Porque quiero llenarme de todo lo que está aquí y quiero que se lleven todo de lo que tengo dentro de mí.
Because I don't have any scripts. I don't have any plan. I just speak for whatever I'm thinking as I look at your faces.
Porque no tengo nada escrito, todo lo que viene de mí, de dentro, y quiero que se lleve todo.
So I talk fast and I'm going to speak in English.
Voy a hablar rápido y en inglés.
But the best part that you will get
Pero la mejor parte que te vas a llevar
is, even if you don't understand everything I'm saying,
y de todas maneras, aunque no me entiendas lo que diga,
you will feel the heart and you will feel the love.
lo vas a sentir en
And that's what you will be able to take home with you, not the words, but the heart.
Eso es lo que te vas a llevar a casa, el corazón, no las palabras.
And don't worry, because I've been around the world to many, many audiences in many countries that don't speak English, but I'm on stage speaking English the whole time, and everybody loves it.
Y no te preocupes, porque he ido a muchos países, a muchos lugares, y aunque no entiendas, y mucha gente no entiende el inglés, pero entiende el mensaje de amor.
And Nelly, you and I can go back and forth in between things as I kind of feel like maybe we can say some things. Okay?
Lo vamos a hacer alternadamente.
Okay. I would say perfect and I love you all.
Pero, es perfecto y los amo a todos.
Okay, so since there's many people that raised their hand that they've never heard me speak before or heard our story before, I think what I'll do, just looking at everybody here right now, is I will share bits and pieces of our story. It's a long story. It'll take 5 hours.
Voy a compartir mi historia para la gente que no ha escuchado. Y es larga historia, pero voy a tomar hacerlo pequeño.
Okay. Don't translate anymore. You'll throw me off. Because I can't pause and think about what I'm going to say. I just have to kind of say it, right? Everybody else gets that, right? Okay. So,
long story. 5-hour story.
Sorry?
5-hour story.
Okay. The 5-hour story. Thank you, Chad. The 5-hour story is, and I know some of you can sit here and you won't even feel like 5 minutes, but I want to respect everybody's time and go through quickly because we have many speakers that are going to come through today, and it's a very, very important day. So as a distributor, I'm going to say this to you first before I even get going here and get rolling here, is you got to take notes today. Okay, you got to take notes.
Tomen notas todos.
And here's why. I've looked back, at my notes as I've grown my business from stuff that I took down in 1993. Wow. and other stuff from 1998, and other stuff from 2005, you know, because in this business, it's a growing and learning business. And I still feel I'm a student of the industry. And so I can give you this, is that, you know, the faintest ink is more powerful than the mightiest sword. And I heard that a long time ago. And it made sense to me as I look back on those powerful, powerful notes that I took back in the 80s and 90s, okay? And you get to look back at those. And so from today, you won't be able to write down everything everybody says, but write down the bullet points. I'm telling you right now, I don't know why it works. It's something with the chemistry of the brain and the hand and the mind and everything else. It's a total different thing when you write it down. So definitely just write down the bullets, the things that you like, the things that make an impact, that you smile upon. Because what's going to happen is, you might party tonight in Vegas, I don't know, right? And then you got Sunday. By the time you go back home on Monday, you got to try and remember everything that you heard. And the best way to do that is to see those bullet point notes on the plane ride home or when you arrive, right? Okay, so as a distributor, I'm going to share with you as an upline that would be my tip for you to start the day. Now looking at the audience, I think that we have people from all parts of the country here, right? Yes. Maybe shout out, where are you from today? Who's from Maryland? Who's from California? Who's from another state? Give me one. North Carolina. There you go. Reno, Nevada. Okay. Kentucky. Virginia. Arkansas. Texas. Utah. All right. Vegas. Philippines. Do we leave out any other states? Florida? Arizona? Detroit? Is that a city or a state? All right, check it out. Mexico. Okay, so we have people pretty much covering the map here, right? Here's what you want to understand. You go out those doors, 99.9% of the people out there, you say, I'm in a company called 10. They'll say, what's 10? What's 10? You have an opportunity. You are the first. You are the first in your city. You're the first in your state. You're the first in America. You're the first in the world to be exposed to this opportunity. Right? That is a strong position to be in. Let me tell you, that's a very, very strong position to be in. And so as we talk today, you have to understand the urgency. You have to understand the timing. You have to understand that this is our first event here for 10. It's our first formal event. And it's our first calendar year. It's 2014. Here's what's been really cool for the last 6 months. You know what we've been doing for the last 6 months? People have been experiencing how powerful this is. Okay? The product, the foundation, the results, the testimonials. I mean, how many people have had results and testimonials on this product line so far in the first few months? Okay? That is unbelievable if you look around the room. One more time. Who has a result testimonial on the product? Look around the room. That is unbelievable. Okay? That is the foundation, the first 6 months, right? Okay? Now the first calendar year, 2014, get ready. Get ready. It's the very first year. And I'm going to tell you how significant that is when I talk about the company. But I want to backtrack a little bit because you need to know the question is, what is behind the sprays? Okay? Because I've heard a lot of stuff in the last 6 months, and everybody's talking about what's in front of the sprays. All the window dressing, you know? The website, the brochures, the forms, all the little goodies, you know, can I hang this from my neck with a strap? You know, that would be cool. You know, all this other stuff that everybody's been talking about. But see, all that stuff is great, you know. And one of my favorite companies, Herbalife, has all that stuff. 35 years in the making, right? Another one of the companies, Amway, has all this great stuff, all this window dressing, right? But there's many companies that try and come out with all this great window dressing. But what's behind all that unravels, right? And then that pretty window dressing was just a paint job, right? And so what's more important, as a business person now, you know, over 24 years full-time as a business person, and 24 years full-time as a network marketer and distributor, I can tell you that this is all beautiful, and we got nice labeling, And we got nice banners, and Manuel did this art, and these decorations, Creasy and everybody else, and all this beautiful stuff. And it'll get more beautiful and more beautiful on the outside. But you need to know what is behind the sprays. Okay? Because what's going to happen is, once you understand that and the company is in you, then you're unstoppable. Okay? Then it doesn't matter how pretty the website gets, because it's going to get prettier. It doesn't matter how pretty the brochures get, because they're going to get prettier. That all doesn't matter. You need to know what's behind the sprays, and what do you have in your hands, and what is your future. Okay? And I'm talking to everybody in this room right now. You have to be serious at this point. You're here today, not just kind of sticking your toe in the water. Everybody says, you always stand right here at the tip of the stage, you're going to fall over. At the events that go around the world, they have these giant stages, and I'm always right there, And they always wonder, why am I not behind a podium over here and just telling everybody all this stuff, or standing back here? It's because I've learned in business and in life, you have to step right here. Okay? You have to be all in. You have to be all in. And some of you are there, but many of you are not yet. But once you get there, life changes. And life happens. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you, pay attention, grab all these bits and pieces of training that happens as I share with you the story of the company and the story of how we even got to this point. And grab all those bits and pieces. Because at the end of the day, when you go home, you're not going to be back here anymore. You are going to step up, whatever you do with this company, and be right here, all in, both feet, swimming fast, forward. Got it? Okay? So, right now, with your toe in the water, that's great. But focus on what you can get out of this. Because I'm telling you right now, it will change your life. How do I know? Because it's exactly what happened to Amy and I November 18th, 1989. That's when we joined network marketing. November 18th, 1989. So as you can see, 24 years later, here we are. And it's an incredible road and an incredible story, but I want to tell you this. If you think you can, yes, you can. You just need the training and the direction. And if you think you can't, of course you can. Henry Ford says that. So it's all going to be right now in between the 6 inches right here in the head, right? We're going to help you get your head straight and get your focus right. Because what's going to happen then is you will take advantage of this baby, this new opportunity. 99.9% of the world out those doors has never heard of it. You get to be first. That's a hot situation. You're at the top. When I look at my friends at Herbalife that joined in 1980, and some people say, man, I wish I got going back then. Yeah, you do. But nobody told you about that opportunity back then, or you didn't, work hard and be a part of that back then. And here 35 years later, I can tell you, some of my friends at that company, they live next door to Brad Pitt, and they live in Malibu on the beach, and they live these lifestyles of movie stars, even though they're not movie stars. You know what I mean? One of my buddies, he just bought a $33 million mansion as a distributor. Not $3 million, not $5 million, not $10 million, $33 million. And his only thing that he's been doing as his career is a distributor. That's the real potential. And so if you've ever wanted to get into the top, get in at the beginning and be a part of that, whether it was New Skin, Amway, ACN, Herbalife, whatever, here you are. Here you are. But here's what's going to happen. Some of you are going to take advantage of it and do the right things and focus and go all in. And some of you are still going to be hesitant. And some of you are going to quit, unfortunately. I already know that. Okay? But some of you are going to go all the way to the top. Because you will respect what you have and you will understand what you have. So let's go back to November of 1989. Here's how this happened. If you're, who's still in their 20s? All right, all right, good. All right. Wait till the next conference. There's going to be a lot of people in their 20s at the next conference. All right? There's hope for you. There's hope for you in your 20s. Because when I started in network marketing, I was 21 years old. Okay? I was 21 years old. Amy Gill was 19 years old. 19 years old. Okay? And actually, some of you probably already noticed. Yes, I do chew gum on stage like a kid. And that tells you that I'm not a professional speaker. Because they told me a while back at one of these events and trainings, hey man, you can't be on stage chewing gum. That's not professional. That's not a professional speaker. Speakers don't chew gum on stage. And I said, I have never been a speaker in my life, and I never want to. Right? So all I can do is say the gum keeps me flowing, and I get more passionate and excited when I have gum in my mouth. And if that goes out there to somebody and changes their life, I'll keep on chewing gum. Right? Keep me on track, Terry. Every time I forget, you got to keep me on track. Has everybody met Terry Widener? Raise your hand, Terry. Stand up, actually. Meet Terry at the breaks. You know why? Meet everybody at the breaks. Because some of the most influence and most ideas and the best thing you're going to get is at the breaks and in between things, at the end of the event, before the event, when you meet people and say, man, goodness, is that how you're doing it out there in Maryland? My goodness, is that how you're doing it out there in Florida? Wow, tell me about this, tell me about that. That's really where you grow. That's where you really learn and grab some ideas to further your business. So let's go back to, 21 and 19, right? Okay? And here's how it happened. It's crazy how things happen in life. How did you get introduced to this company? It's incredible. But I believe everything happens for a reason. That's right. And I believe that there's pivotal points and moments in life. Yeah. There's those forks in the road and things happen, right? And I can tell you this is that it was our first year of marriage. We had a 3-month-old baby in the house. Okay, and we didn't have any jobs. No business background. We were sitting on the couch at home, watching TV. I don't know if Jerry Springer was on or whatever was on back then, with our 3-month-old baby. And so that was probably not the perfect prospect. No job, no business background, 21 and 19. What's on the mind of you 20-year-olds and 19-year-olds? You know what's up. You're planning, exactly. The party, right? Where are we going out next weekend with our friends and stuff like that, okay? So definitely not the perfect prospect. But here's how it happened. My dad was in the restaurant business. He owned a restaurant. And the manager of the company that supplied the tablecloths to the restaurant came in one day and said, Sam, let me tell you something. My wife is making an extra $1,200 part-time at home. And it's helping with our bills, and I'm the manager of the linen company, and it's a great extra income. And my dad, obviously you're a business owner, you think like you're making money, you're too cool. His attitude was like, no thanks, I'm not interested, $1,200 will not change my life. And he said, no, Sam, come on, check this out. I mean, it's an incredible opportunity, blah, 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 blah. My dad said, no thanks, I'm not interested. And then my dad's light bulb went on and said, wait a minute. At home, I got 2 broke kids, right? He probably didn't say it exactly that way, but I got a couple of broke kids on the couch that got married way too early, had a baby way too young, and are sitting at home doing nothing. And who's paying, any of their bills? Mommy and Daddy. We're living with Mommy and Daddy, right? So he says, give me the information. My dad brings home a videotape. And I know you 20-somethings probably don't even know what a videotape is. But those of you that are my age or around or older, you guys remember the VCR videotapes?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, we plugged this thing in, because he says, you kids, take a look at this thing. You guys need to do something with your lives. We plugged this thing in, and they're talking about all this stuff. And we're like, I don't get it. She says, I don't get it. We don't get it. My dad's friend calls and says, did you watch the tape? And he says, my dad says, yeah, the kids watched it, but they don't even know what's going on. What is this? We've never heard of network marketing, never heard of any company, Amway, nothing, right? So he did something right. He said, you got to come to the meeting. You got to come to the event. Right? Me and my wife are going to be there. Bring your 2 kids. So I said, Mom, can you watch the baby? She says, of course, I watch the baby all day, every day anyways, right? You guys are planning Friday night's party. You guys are planning Saturday night's party, right? I got the 3-month-old baby here. And I said, thanks, Mom. Tuesday night, we go to the meeting with my dad, not knowing what to expect. And this is the 80s, right? 1989? So you can imagine Amy had the big hair, the 80s hair, right? I had my purple sweater on. I didn't know what I was supposed to dress for, So I show up in my purple sweater, and the room is packed. The room is full. I mean, it's this room. Give yourselves a hand. You guys packed this house here. It just came to me that we have chairs lined up on the sides, you guys. That's incredible. That's incredible. Awesome job. And you know what? Okay, you don't get to do this at your job, so you might as well do it here. and that's have a ton of fun. And I want you to clap whenever you clap, like you just earned $50,000 for the month. So how would you clap? Because remember, I have no notes or anything, so whatever's good. And if you've heard me before and I forget something, just tell me, hey Mel, tell us about that or whatever. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is that when you give me energy, I'm gonna give you twice as much of energy, right? Okay? Because I've been at these audiences, and I won't tell you what country they are. They don't smile, they don't laugh, and they sit like this the whole time. And boy, I mean, they get that much out of me. I'm just like, God, right? It's draining. But you guys aren't like that, which is awesome. All right, so check it out. We go to the meeting and it's packed. There's just like 3 levels deep, right? And we barely get through the door. And the music's going and people walking around and they're all wearing these nice suits and stuff like that. And we don't have a suit on. I mean, I keep my jeans and purple sweater and Amy with her big hair and 80s outfit. And so as we walk in, we noticed one thing. We were like, there's a bunch of old people in this room. It was just a bunch of old people. But you got to remember, at 21 and 19, if they were 28 or 29, they're old, right? 35, oh man, they're done. 45, start digging you know what I mean? Right? You know, 21 and 19, anybody who's like almost 30 or whatever is like... So there really wasn't anybody in their 20s, but the 30s and 40s, 50s, but so we saw, oh gosh, a bunch of old people. So we sat down. The guy in the front of the room, okay, had a heavy, heavy Chinese accent. And, you know, I was born and raised in Northern California. Amy's born and raised in Northern California. And it's a melting pot. There's lots of cultures, right? But there's no way we could understand this guy. It was really a heavy accent. And so you can imagine the room packed, everybody's listening. We don't understand what the heck he's saying because we don't understand business. We've never heard of network marketing. And then his accent is really, really strong, right? So we're just listening. We're getting bored because we don't know what's going on anyways. We're not business people. We're not even looking, you know, for an opportunity or whatever. And the guy's heavy accent and stuff like that. But he keeps going. Amy's bored. I'm just looking around. You know, getting that sleepy look and stuff like that. I think my dad might have already been snoring. So Amy does this. Pulls out of her purse a nail file. Right? So she's filing her nails. And so you can imagine, you know, we're just all whatever. All of a sudden the guy says, blah, 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 $42,000 a month last month. And Amy just found my, she looks over at me, she said, wow. If we made $42,000 a year at this thing, boy, we'd be rich. And I said, honey, he said $42,000 for the month. Okay? Now there's pivotal times in life. I will never forget this. I'm a very visual person. I will never, ever forget this, what happened next. What happened next changed lives. What happened next is Amy Gill stopped filing her nails all of a sudden, and the file fell out of her hand. And I'm looking at this thing in slow motion. And as it fell and hit the floor, I will never, ever forget that image in my mind. Because what happened next? She sat at the edge of her seat. I sat at the edge of my seat. We paid attention to the rest of the presentation. And the testimonials came up, and people walked up on stage, and they were every background. From successful accountants and attorneys, to waiters and waitresses and busboys and plumbers and judges. I mean, it was like every type of person, right? And we were blown away. For instance, $8,000 a month, $10,000, $50,000 a month, this and this and this and this and this. And the testimonials, we were just like, oh my gosh. And what we said to each other at the end of that presentation is that we don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is an act or a movie we're looking at, or what. We were shocked, okay? But we said, okay, if my dad's friend and his wife will teach us the business, we're willing to learn. And that was the first step, okay? Come in there with nothing but willing to learn and willing to be coachable. and I'm telling you this right now, there's a little bit of training. I'm sure none of you have an ego, right? Drop the ego thing. Drop the ego thing. It's not even worth it. It ain't gonna take care of your family. Forget the ego thing. We came with open arms, empty, and said, show us, teach us, right? We'll pay attention. And from that point, we went to the first Saturday training, paid attention to everything they said. And the second Saturday training, paid attention to everything they said. We've never missed an event in 24 years of full-time in the industry. Is that? Yeah. Because being at the event absolutely changed our lives. Okay? And I'll tell you this also, is that, focus on this. Timing in a person's life, huge. Huge. Okay? We joined when we didn't even understand the presentation. The Chinese guy, the doctor that was speaking in front of the room, he could have said whatever he wanted. We joined. We joined. We were at the right time in our life. We were at the right time in our life because you know what? We went home and said, well, how are we going to raise this 3-month-old baby? How are we going to make money and raise this 3-month-old baby? Right? Okay? Think about this. Exactly 1 year earlier, a year earlier, what if my dad came home with the videotape and invited us to a meeting? We wouldn't have gone. We were planning our wedding. We were in the wedding mix. We were busy with the wedding stuff. This. Business was not on our mind. You know how you're excited, you're in love, you want to get married and all this other stuff? You know, we didn't have a baby. A year earlier, if they were to get the same videotape, the same presentation, we would be in network marketing today. But because somehow it was the right time in our life, the right place, we came to that meeting, totally changed our lives. What that tells you in a little bit of training, doesn't matter what you're saying to the prospect, doesn't matter how you're presenting this at, it's the right time in their life or it's not. Right time in there, they're going to ask the questions. They're going to inquire. They're going to be hungry. Somebody's hungry or not, you can't make them hungry. You can't lead them to the buffet. I mean, they're hungry or not, right? Okay? Somebody doesn't have to tell me that back then I wanted a red Ferrari. Either you want it or you don't. It's on your mind or it's not, right? So, a year later, perfect timing, we got involved no matter what. And we were hungry enough that we paid attention to every training. And guess what? It wasn't easy, but we paid attention. But here's what happened. As we learned the business by going to the training, and they told us what to do, and they shared with us what to do, and this, and this, and this, and this, we, the first 30 days, worked super hard. Right? How many of you work hard? How many are not afraid of hard work? Okay. You make a lot of money in this business when you clap hard and you raise your hands and you nod. Okay? So, yeah, give yourself a $50,000 clap. It's going to create your blood flow. It's going to create motion, right? Right? Motion and emotion, and you know, the universe will sing to you as well. So, check it out. So we worked really, really hard and paid attention, and we did what they said. They said, get out the videotapes. You know, today we have DVDs or online presentations, but that time it was videotapes for the presentation. We invited to the meeting. We started to build a network. We worked really, really hard, and everybody's making all this money, right? And all these trainings and all these speakers are like big, high-powered speakers making all this money. So at that time, that company paid monthly. At the end of the month, we got our first check. Woo-woo. And we were so excited. So excited to open it up. And at this point, we didn't even really understand the marketing plan. We just did whatever they told us. You know, invite to the meeting, do this, prospect, do that, make the phone calls. We're on the phones every day, three-way calling, whatever we were doing, right? And we were so excited to get our first check, even though we didn't understand the comp plan, whatever, it doesn't matter. They just said, bring the people, do this, do this, do this. So we were like, now it's our turn to get on stage and be the guys that make $8,000 and $9,000 and $20,000 a month and all this stuff. Da, 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 da. So we opened up our check and we were so excited. Amy looked at me, I looked at her, and we were so excited that we wanted to cry almost. And then we really wanted to cry because it was a whopping $16.84. So I look at Amy, she looks at me, and she said, we did everything they told us to do. We worked day and night every single day. And now we got our first check. And if you divide that daily and hourly, what does that come out to? And I said, I don't know. She said, slavery. Right? I'm just like, what have we've been scammed. They fooled us. Those were actors walking across the stage. This is a joke, right? And we had a decision after 30 days, right? To quit or listen to our sponsors. And they said, don't worry, you have to get to executive. That was a position. And that's when you get paid on the team's effort versus your own effort and all this blah, 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 with that compensation plan. And I was exhausted. She's exhausted. We worked so hard. But the decision we made was, okay, fine. We're going to show up Saturday to the training again. Right? And we'll continue forward. Even though this is like ridiculous, $16.84. But we went and we learned more and we grew further. And the next check came in. And that was a couple of $100 for the month. They said, no, don't worry. And interesting thing, we didn't know we were at the right place at the right time, but now in retrospect, it was perfect timing. That company went from 50 million in sales when we joined to 500 million in 24 months. Okay? So, do you think some lives change as a company goes from 50 million to 500 million? Do you think some lives change? Yeah. No question about it. So we rode this wave of growth, and we did become executives, and then the checks went into the thousands, right? And then it grew further and further, and it's ridiculous. But it was that 24-month window of opportunity as that company went from small to big. And we rode that wave of momentum, and it forever changed our lives. But here's the other side of it, because it's going to happen to you right now too with 10. But here's the other side of it. There's so many people that were there Tuesday night that quit. They didn't sign the application on November 18th, even though they were in the room. Right? Saturday training, they went to 2 or 3 trainings and quit. Even though that company went through major momentum from 50 million to 500 million, changed thousands and thousands of people's lives, there was so many people that were in those trainings with us that quit and did not ride that wave. But then there's others, like people on our team, not just ourselves, but people on our team that went out there and made their dreams come true. And lives dramatically changed. And that's what's going to happen here too. There's going to be people in the room. $50,000 class. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And unfortunately, some people will not show up to the trainings. They won't pay attention. They won't learn. They'll have too much ego. They think they're a big businessman and they know too much. Whatever the reasons are, but it's all in your head. Okay? It's all in your head. If you understand where we're going with this, you won't quit. You'll pay attention. You'll be at every event, every training. Just loosening up my collar. You're going to get loose. And you will ride a wave of growth. Okay? And I can tell you that in the beginning, we were so upset on the fact that we worked so hard and the checks were so small, right? Okay? But I can tell you this, as we rode that wave of growth, there was a time where we went off on vacation, right? For a couple of weeks to enjoy the success, right? And that company used to pay on the 22nd of the month, right? So we went on vacation, and it was 2 weeks, but we took a little bit of extra time because we could. Because now we were, super successful in the company, in the industry, right? When we came back, we were gone almost 3 weeks. When we came back, the check was bigger than when we left. Okay? Now all of a sudden, Amy was like, do you feel guilty? We didn't work. We were missing for almost 3 weeks. And they paid us even more than the previous month. Right? No, you know why I didn't feel guilty? Because I remember the slavery days of when I was $16.84, right? So the message here is, of course, in the beginning, because it's just you and your little network of 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10 people, but as it grew, we felt overpaid, where at the beginning you're underpaid, right? And this business is the same in any company. In the beginning, you're underpaid. But you build the business and the residual income, and then you're overpaid. And many of you today, whatever we pay more than $16, I think. They get a lot, $100, $150. But There will be a day where you might just feel like, man, I didn't work this week or this month, and the checks just keep coming, and they're bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't know, will you feel guilty?
No.
You'll cash them. You'll take them to the bank. You'll do good with them. It'll be amazing. And it's a beautiful story, you know, because right now we have distributors around the world. And you know, one of our friends, he's a 10-star. Okay? You guys know what a 10-star is? Okay. 10-star is like top of the marketing plan, right? Yeah. He, last year, or 2012, sorry, he got sick, right? He had to take off 5.5 months, almost 6 months, right? Okay? But the company pays weekly, right? What day is payday?
Wednesday.
What day is payday?
Wednesday.
The Wednesday checks, because he built a team. He's been with the company for years. He's built a significant team. He's a 10-star distributor. He got sick for 5.5 months. The checks never stop. Every Wednesday, right? Right. His income went up. His income went up while he was away for 5.5 months. Right? With this company. It's amazing. I'm here to tell you that, well, and thank goodness, he's better now, no problem. He got over that illness for 5.5 months, whatever it was. He's a 10-star with the company. But I'm here to tell you that that's called residual income. Where you build it during this wave, like that small and big, right? The 50 million to 500 million, that wave, right? And you enjoy it for the rest of your life, right? Okay? That's called residual income. Who wants to get rich? Okay. Build the weekly, but focus on the residuals. What's the acronym for rich? Residual income creates happiness. Repeat after me. Residual income creates happiness. Rich. That's real rich. You know why? Because that's freedom. Freedom is that if you don't feel like working right now, you don't show up to work, you don't show up at your business, you don't show up at the liquor store that's back there to open the door, the money never stops. The money never stops. Okay? Some of my buddies at that beautiful company called Herbalife, they've been there 12, 13, 14, 15 years that they haven't worked. They really haven't worked. They showed up at a couple events or whatever, but their millions never stop. You know why that is?
Residual.
Because that company doesn't stop. Exactly. Because that company doesn't stop. Here's what some of you guys have been doing. Let me tell you this. Remember, I'm a distributor. I know exactly what goes on. You jump from company to company to company to company, right? And it's not your fault. Those companies don't make it. They don't do the right thing. The management fell apart. The product fell apart. The compensation plan fell apart. The company fell apart. It looked so rosy and beautiful, and now it's gone. Now you're on to the next deal, and the next deal, and the next deal. You know what that means? No residual income. You're in a sales deal. You're in a sales deal to a sales deal to a sales deal, right? You don't want that. You want to build a home, right? Where the company doesn't quit. Amway hasn't quit. Shackley hasn't quit. Herbalife hasn't quit. Those are the big companies, right? That's where you want to be. Because then you have a chance at residual income. Because if the company goes out of business, what's the residual income that you were promised? You ain't getting the check. Those guys over there, they keep getting the check because the company doesn't quit. All right? You know, Amway, I'm telling you this right now, 11 billion plus, almost 12 billion in 2013, their biggest year ever. Wow. Some of those distributors that joined 30, 40, 50 years ago, generational income. Okay? Herbalife, almost $5 billion